There we go. Hey people, welcome back to our Q&A. It's been a long overdue one to do, but finally getting it done. Oh, and that's Brianna too.
Yes, ignore me. I'm a prop.
Good friend of ours. She just wanted to see me embarrass myself in front of a camera, so why not, I guess. But here we are with how many questions? It was like 20 something questions, and this was supposed to be done in October, but due to just life, it didn't end up happening.
Period.
Which sucks, but we're here and we're getting it done because why would I ignore your guys' questions? You guys have good questions all the time, as you can tell. So let's get into it. First question. Worst song of all time? Don't hold back, brother. Got you, fam. Shout out Deacon, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna go with something very basic because everyone knows about this song somehow, some way. I feel like we all have learned this song from just the weird kids in school. Probably. But Cupcake. I'd probably say Cupcake.
I don't know about you, but I listen to that every night.
You...
I'm just kidding.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
You mind if I play something?
Oh, you said worst song. Worst Spider-Man costume. I answered this one on the last Q&A. It's the No Way Home suit that Tom Holland gets. They called it the integrated suit that he wears for the most part of the final battle. I did not like it at all. Because he doesn't need gold in his suit. Like, I feel like if it's not the Iron Spider suit, he doesn't need it.
Like it was unnecessary.
Gold in it. Yeah. Because... Have you seen No Way Home?
No, I'm looking it up. I can't remember.
It's basically a run-off from the black and red suit, except they added gold shit into it. But I feel like they did that just to sell more toys, and I didn't like that. I hated that. I absolutely hated that. And I only made it grow on me at the moment because it was for a great movie. But at the end of it, we did get arguably one of the best Spider-Man suits of all time with the final swing suit. It's just the integrated suit really is just not good. Not good. And it was just a money grabber when they could have just stuck with the plain black and red. But I'm off that. Show the world what you're packing.
And then, you should eat some.
Go ahead if you want. If you want some, go ahead.
Guys, you want to hear some ASMR?
Actually, I don't really need...
Sunflower seed?
That's so weird. That is so weird.
I don't got time to open these seeds.
Actually, I don't need this mic.
Oh, fuck.
Show us under your bed. Shoes. Extra comic book box. Extra bags. She's definitely fine. What wins Game of the Year? So far, I've only done... At this point in time, I've only done 2 playthroughs worth of content for Spider-Man 2. But honestly, I don't game as much as I used to. But I'd still say it's Spider-Man 2. That one's just... All bias aside even. I could just throw my bias away from Spider-Man. And just say it's still Game of the Year. Because... from the story, how it's being told, the voice acting even, the motion capturing behind it, and just the overall look of just the whole game entirely is a huge improvement from this first one, when the first one at its time was a huge advancement in gaming as in itself. So just seeing this one and how much it's grown and learned from the first game, I can definitely say it's Game of the Year still. But it does have some competition, of course. If you were to be a woman for a day, what would you do? Let the homies hit. I don't know. I really don't know what I would do. First off, I'd have to figure out my name. What would be a female name of Jason?
Jessica.
Jasmine.
You're such a Jessica.
Really?
You're such a Jessica. Jessica, come here, bitch.
Jessica it is then. But I don't know. I don't really know what I would do. How do you feel about hookup culture? What do you think it's doing to our generation today?
Good one.
We did discuss this for a little bit, and I'd say it's a mix. It's kind of a mix of things, like, because the way I see it, depending on your person and your personality, it could go either or. It could be really good for you or really bad.
It can be very damaging if you've experienced hookup culture. Mm-hmm. For sure. If you get attachment issues, if one person is not on board with it, you're also doing damage to another person. You want to make sure that is very consensual and you guys know what's going on. Mm-hmm. But to each their own. So I've been on each end of that stick, and for me, my personal experience is I kind of regret hookup culture. Like, it didn't do anything for me. Like, it was more of distractions. You haven't really, I don't know.
Well, for me, I've never dived into hookup culture. I've never been a part of that. I've never done it. So it's like, I can only learn from the inside out because I choose not to do that. I've never really seen myself really needing it.
Or been curious about it.
Or been curious about it, or just the genuine want to do it. I mean, of course, I'm only human. I've had thoughts about doing it, of course, but I've just never really committed to it. So I'd say for me, it's just, from my perspective, it can be damaging. I can see it where she says it can be damaging just because it's like, you start to lose the idea of how meaningful stuff like that is, you know?
Now, not to sound old-fashioned and everything, but
right.
like, but after experiencing it like firsthand, I'm such a lover girl. I am such
right.
yeah, like, it's not for me. I don't think I'd ever do it again like that, whether I'm single or not. It's just not me, and I feel like a genuine connection is always 100% going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people do it out of the fear of being attached and having those feelings. Understandable too. But I don't know. Either way, it is your choice.
Right. That's what yeah, for the most part, that's what I'd say too. I pretty much
And
agree.
don't let people pressure you into one way or the other, because that's a thing.
That is very much a thing. Thoughts on celibacy? Am I saying that right? Celibacy?
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 Yeah.
Celibacy.
It kind of ties in a little bit with the
Basically.
with the hookup culture, a little bit.
Shout out Cadence for the questions too.
Keep that.
I've asked you before.
He's asked me that like 3 times.
I'm sorry.
Not having sex.
Right.
But the thing is, you can be celibate, like, can I say, like, a
Yeah.
virgin? So, like, a virgin. I'm celibate till marriage. Other people have had sex and then decide to be celibate. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
Opposite of hookup culture, basically. Mm-hmm. How I feel
That makes sense. I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say that. It's just like,
definition.
yeah. My thoughts on it, I mean, I don't know. I've never really seen sex being very important to me. You know, even in a relationship, it's just, I don't see it much as being an important thing until, probably till it becomes an issue. Probably, you know, like whether it's like an addiction or becomes an addiction or something like that, because it can be an addiction. Because some people use it as a way to cope. You know, it's just different. You know, like, or sometimes it's like trauma based. But I just say, like, it's not an issue. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of mixed things about it because it's also based on like what you do, why you do it, your reasoning for everything, you know, because everyone's different.
Sometimes celibacy happens not even by choice. It's just I just haven't done it, you know.
Right.
Like,
you don't even think about it. You just don't even think about it.
And you know what? You're right. Sex is not the most important thing. It's really not. And I don't even consider it like a bonus. It's just something that's a part of life, and I don't think it should be frowned upon. But I also don't think it should be glorified as everything.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree on that.
So exactly same thing. It's to each their own. If you choose to do it for whatever reason, you do it. Good for you. If you don't, you're not. I wouldn't be frowned upon either. Like, you're not a virgin, or that's your body count. I don't think that matters at all, unless you're hurting someone else.
Right.
That's it.
Her answer. Way better than mine. It's just emojis, and it's basically trying to indicate pigs with wings. So I don't know.
Is that a secret code?
Fuck if I know. I mean, I have no idea. It's just an emoji, and I never really understood it. I mean,
we just have
it's just
a
emojis,
rant
like,
about it. We're all,
like
what does it mean?
It's not even a question. Like, were you doing that to fuck me up? I don't know, but I appreciate the flying pigs. Appreciate it, bro. What's you? Is that what you're trying to get? I mean, what should... It's actually a deep question.
That's
What
fucking
is
deep.
you?
Yeah, what's you?
What's up with you?
What
What's
makes
down with
you? Shut the fuck.
2 questions. 1, I need a good conditioner. Hawthorne or Native products. 2, we need to get tats. Yes, we do. Shout out you, Logan. We definitely do. We definitely do, and we will. Once you graduate.
Are you getting matching tattoo?
I don't know. We probably will.
That's
That'd be
cute.
down. I mean, I'm down to match tattoos with anybody, as long as I've gotten to know them very well. You know, I'm not gonna do it with some stranger, unless they have a good idea. Then maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Dang, I have a question follow up for that.
What?
How many tattoos do you have, Jason?
How many tattoos do I have?
Mm-hmm. Let's share some info about yourself.
That's a good question. I don't know if I've answered this on the Q&A. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 maybe?
Let him know if you want him to do a tattoo tour. I like watching those. Those are fun.
Get in the comments, guys. She's helping y'all out.
I have 9. This is the smallest one I have. I'm a Pisces.
What would you tell your younger self? Would he be proud? I guess it would depend on the moment. It's actually a really good question. Because I was writing on this one book I have, and it said to write a letter to the younger version of me. And I thought the same thing, which was, at one point in time, would I be talking to myself, you know, or writing this letter to myself? And I guess that just, like, I would think one of the worst moments I've dealt with, where I've just felt alone and just, like, you know, rock bottom, shit like that. And I would just say, it gets better. You know, you'd be really surprised with the things you do when you're older. And it's not even that much older either. Like, I'm still 21, you know, I turned 22 in now a month. So it's like, it's crazy to think about the things that we've managed to accomplish, and and the direction we've chosen to go with our lives in the span of a couple of years after high school, you know, because after high school I was very lost, and I didn't know really what I wanted to do with my life. I just knew that school really wasn't for me. And now I do have a good sense of direction in what I want to do and where I want to be with my life, but there's no title really there other than artist, because with the word artist, it's more than just...
It's broad.
It's very broad, and it's very... it has variety. There's so much you can be as an artist, and it's just, I want to create. I just want to create whatever. And I feel like the younger me would very much be confused, but in a sense, be proud of what we've accomplished at just 21 years old. Hell, I don't think I ever would have thought I'd have my own place at 21 years old. Goddamn, someone just died. But just...
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant, hon. R.I.P., I guess.
Rude.
That was fireworks, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
I think.
don't
that was fireworks.
Don't cancel him.
Don't cancel me for something I didn't mean. Cancel me for something I did mean, though. I'll point those out. I promise. But yeah, I'd say I'd definitely be proud of myself for where I am right now.
I have something. I had it in my head when you were saying that. It's kind of like, I think I would let myself know, like, how much you've grown as a person individually. Like, I feel like every month I'm changing. Like, I'm constantly changing.
Most definitely.
Like, you're constantly shifting, and you're constantly going through phases. And to know it does get better.
Definitely.
As well as don't be shocked when things repeat itself.
Right.
Because that's the one thing that I've learned a lot. Like, me, like, 16, 17, I'm like, I hope I never feel this again. Like, oh, I'm going to have it so much more figured out when I'm, like, 20, 21, or whatever, even getting older. And then I realized, damn, some of the things that I experienced as a teenager, I am still experiencing it now. And I think I would just warn myself that it's normal.
That it's very normal,
That it's normal to feel lost, and it's normal to go through these experiences, whether it's with friendships, relationships, mental health, body issues. You know, I've dealt with all of those things, and it never goes away completely. Never.
That's definitely one thing I needed to come to accept as well. Is that's a huge thing. That I feel like I undermine until it happens, and that's when these moments tend to repeat themselves, and every time I look at it and it's like, oh damn, I'm backtracking. I'm backtracking. Like, what am I doing wrong? And that's making me take one step forward and two steps back. What's going on? Well, that's not really the case. It's just
Life.
the negativity really
Yeah.
trying to speak for you. It's not, you're not taking two steps back. You are taking a step back, and it's not consistent either. It's never consistent. It feels like it is, but that's because negativity is so loud in a world that's full of negativity. Negativity can just be very loud over the positivity. You're like,
Oh, for sure. That is like 100%.
Un-
Like,
yeah, until you actually take notice and take focus on what's positive, that's when the true things start to come out, and you're like, oh, I really have been better overall since so and so, since last week, since last month, since last year. It's the little things that make a difference, and just even going as far as just reflecting on it, it you start to notice a huge, just how big of a difference each day has been for you.
and that comes with like self-awareness for sure.
Very much,
Because
yes.
like you can have like three good things that happen to you in a row,
Mhm.
and then one shitty thing happens, and you're only gonna focus on that, and that's just, you know, and that comes with age too, and like,
Definitely, yeah.
you know, so I also think that like, calm down, you're okay. Even me now, I have to talk to myself every day. I give myself pep talks.
Same.
You know, and that's just life, and you have to do it. But you know, that was a really good question.
That was a very
actually.
good question. We tangented off
Yeah.
a good amount on that
That
one.
was
So
good.
shout out to you, Cadence, for all the great questions. Thank you so much. Do you think a body count determines someone's worth? Thoughts?
That really ties into what the other thing we were talking about.
Definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of them do actually.
That was actually, those are good. They
Again,
intertwined a little bit.
shout out Cadence. Thank you. No, definitely not. I don't think it determines anything. I just think. I mean, it really depends on like we discussed earlier. Like, how do you perceive sex? How do you perceive a body count and everything? Because like everyone sees that differently. Everyone has a different knowledge and purpose towards that. Like they use that differently.
And there's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong, and I guess it also depends on how others perceive that as well, because in a world that's so judgmental, they tend to see like, oh, the higher the body count, the worse of a person you are, or the more of a hoe you are, and shit like that, when really sometimes it's just really not that, you know. And if you're looked at with a low body count, you're also being you can also
You're
be judged.
a prune.
Yeah,
You don't have, you didn't do nothing. What
yeah,
are you
you're
doing?
fucking lame. You
Yeah.
like, it's shit like that, and it's just like, you don't need to hear that shit. You really don't. And to anyone that does judge off of a body count,
Immature.
it's immature and grow up. It's really nothing that, it's not even important. It's not important. It lacks importance of all things.
Yeah. In
It's-
a world full of problems,
That's
body
the
count
least
should not even be a fucking thing.
especially in relationships, because I
Yes.
feel like that's where it gets judged most, is where it's like, oh, you have this much of a body count, yeah, we're done. You know, I feel like it's stuff like that causes a lot of issues for no reason.
And I know, and I also think it's like how you carry yourself too. Like I don't know. I would be completely like, I would be a hypocrite if I said no. I never thought bad about a body count. I have, you know, like being a certain age and being like, damn, that's kind of a lot. Like I've said it.
Right.
You know, like I would be a hypocrite, but at the same time, I'm like, who am I? To judge, like I don't know her experiences or his experiences, and it also comes with like being double standard. Guys are looked down upon if you have a low body count, like you're fucking lame, dude. But a girl has a low one, it's like not as looked at as bad. But if the opposite of like a girl having a high body count, fucking slut.
Yeah.
Guys, wow, like props,
Right.
like
yeah.
props.
Yeah, we
you
get
know?
praised for that shit.
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So it also comes with double standard. Like that is such a deep question because it can just like be branched out to different things for sure.
You feel happy with where you're at currently in life? Explain. Definitely. I mean, of course, I'm not what's the word? Content. I'm not content with where I'm at. Obviously, things could be way better in my life with my life situations and everything. But as of right now, I couldn't be more happy and comfortable. That I feel like that's one thing I've been lacking is comfort in not just my skin, but just like
Stability.
where I am, like yeah, stability and just home now. You know, like not to call out, I'm not trying to call out my parents or my family or anything like that, because I loved living with my parents, but it's just there was this lack of comfort that I felt for a while that just kind of kept me in my room for so long, and I didn't realize how big of a difference it was or how much of an effect it was having on me until I moved out and got my own place, and now it's like
Having your routine, finding your routine.
finding my
yeah.
routine, adjusting to all of it. Yeah, it was tough at first, I'll admit, but I could not be happier. Like I don't want to leave home. I really don't. I love being home all the time.
Yeah, I
Whenever
know.
I can, I don't leave.
Yeah, me too.
And she's here for some odd reason.
I'm like here every day.
Rent free, like that's crazy. But I'm happy. Like, you know, I love being here. I love being home, and I love growing it too. Like the more I see improvement, like just god damn. But the more the more improvement I get in this place, like getting my posters up and buying a record stand from my records, you know, little things like that, little wins, like it makes me happy.
Next, grocery shopping.
Next question. Thoughts on the importance of talking about mental health. Y'all know I preach mental health. Y'all know I preach it, but I'm not perfect. I struggle with it myself. You know, it's my biggest thing is mental health. I feel like it's so big for me because I feel like it's so less looked at, less focused for a lot of people. And some people don't realize that they struggle with mental health until they're at their lowest, and it's like, why am I down here? You know, some people just they overlook it either because you're old-minded or you just have not really experienced anything like that that's led you to this point of where you're struggling so much and you're not really understanding why.
Especially for men.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like men don't really open up about it as much, and I tend to be looked at as, I guess, kind of feminine because I'm so open about my feelings and everything, and I'm a very emotional person, and I feel like I shouldn't be, you know? I don't think it's a feminine trait. I just feel like it's I don't even say I just feel like it's a human trait, and it's
and I don't think it's talked about enough or like
definitely not
taught about enough, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's definitely that, and like growing up, if you don't know what it is, you probably feel like you're crazy or so different,
Mm-hmm.
and actually it's like quite normal, and if
It's very
it was
normal.
like, you know, exposure to it more, it wouldn't feel as lonely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why I constantly preach to speak up and to be honest with yourself and to seek help if you truly need it on mental health. Like, seek the help. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, really. You know, like if you're struggling with something, get the proper help you need, because why would you want to live a life where you know you could be fully happy with yourself and understanding with yourself, but then you'd rather just push it away because it's looked at as a weakness to some people, or it's to be made fun of. You know, it's a toxic trait that a lot of people tend to put on people that are trying to be honest with themselves, and I don't know. Like I said, negativity really runs this world because it's so loud, and it does have an effect on people who do struggle with mental health. Me being one of them, and being a victim to one of them, I'd say so myself. And yeah, if there was anything I'd say about it, it's just speak up, because you know it's just really important. It's very important.
I feel like that also comes with self-awareness as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing what to take away from your life that's making you feel worse. You
And
know,
self-awareness is a trait that I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people lack.
Mm-hmm.
It's just truly like being fully aware of just yourself entirely, mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, everything like that. Because you can't ignore the signs your body tells you. You can't. You can't really ignore it. You just try to learn to live with it, and that's when it becomes an issue for yourself, and then that's when that can add on. So that's me. That's what I'd say about it. Shout out Marcus. Shout out the roommate. What kind of superhero would you want to be? Like make up your own movie plot and powers with this emoji.
His favorite emoji.
I love that emoji.
Coming home.
Yeah, but
In the driveway.
well, I guess my favorite superpowers have always been like super speed and like or time manipulation. I love stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. But if I were to come up with like a plot, are you trying to make me like make a movie script or some shit? Because I would, but I don't have enough time for that, and we don't have enough time in this video to do that. But
Go serious.
yeah, I would just go with the powers, and I'll just give you guys my powers for now, and that would be either super speed or time manipulation. I just think that's all that stuff is really
Mind
cool.
manipulation.
Mind manipulation, that's evil. That's pretty evil. She
So fucking be it.
She's like, what can I say? If you had the opportunity to do a podcast with anyone, who is your top 3? That's a great question.
Actually, he pulls out a book.
Well, there's so many people in the world that with like such different mindsets. Kanye West being one of them. Let's do Kanye. I want to do Yeezy. Give me a podcast episode with Yeezy, and that would be great. I feel like that would be crazy. Me and him. Let's do that. That'll be one. And that's the top one too. Who else would I do a podcast with?
You said actually Kanye.
Huh.
Three
Kanye,
podcasts.
Kanye, Yeezy, and Ye.
Yeah.
Just all those guys.
I think that's a good answer.
Cudi, because I'd go Kid Cudi as well, mainly because of his, like he's very mental health aware as well, and as an artist especially, he really spills how he truly feels in his music, with his music. And it's a lot of it has always been like him dealing with mental health and just addiction and all that stuff. So it's like I would love to really deep dive with him on that one. So 2 artists. Let's go with like a movie, like an actor or a director.
Good one.
Zack Snyder would be fire. Let's go Zack Snyder. So Kanye West, Kid Cudi, and Zack Snyder. How about that?
Good lineup.
Very random of a lineup too, especially since Kanye and Kid Cudi are beefing. You remember that one time you decided to be a suplex god? You said duplex, but I guess you said suplex. Suplex god with 5 Ds. Kind of. I think you're talking about sophomore year.
I don't even know what that question means.
Suplex god wrestling.
Oh.
And I think I know what he's talking about. Shout out Wiggles. I think he's talking about the one tournament we had. It was a Davis invite, and it's always been our first meet of the year, and I guess it was like our little pickup meet because they would send out the JV. It would be a varsity meet, but they would send out JV, but they would still send me out there even though I was varsity all 4 years. Was I? Or 3 years? Whatever. Anyways, that's besides the point. Basically what happened was I made it to the finals, and I went up against a Sela kid. That has nothing to do with it, but he was from Sela, just a different school. In the finals, and I ended up throwing him at least roughly 5 times. Maybe if there's a recording, I'm pretty sure there's a recording of that match. I would show it to you guys, but I don't have any of that footage on me. But I basically got called out by the ref so many times for illegally throwing him, and the dude just kept bitching about it. He kept stopping and complaining. He's like, my body, my arm, like, and obviously that wins it because the refs look at that and see it as potentially dangerous, so they'll call you for it. But yeah, and I ended up losing that match because of it. Was it because of that? I think so. But yeah, I ended up losing that match. Oh well, it is what it is. But But yeah, I get if I hope that answered your question, bro.
So you remember it?
That's the one I remembered specific, especially if it's suplex, because that's belly to back. There was this one time where I got disqualified from a meet, or was it a meet? I think it was a meet.
What?
Because I slammed a kid on his head.
Oh, period.
I have the photos of it too. Like, shout out Mondo for this one, because Mondo caught like 4 photos of me picking the guy up and putting him on his head. Yeah, putting him on his head. I'll put him up right here too. I'll literally cover Brianna's face with the 4 photos. But yeah, that was crazy. That was pretty crazy. I ended up getting disqualified for that.
Oh well.
Oh well. What's your earliest memory with me? With you, Wiggles? Probably just wrestling practice with you. I don't know. Like, we didn't really get close until graduation, until after I graduated. So, I'd probably say just being in the wrestling room with you. Probably. What's your OnlyFans account? I can't give that away, bro.
Mine's in the link.
In the link, apparently.
Should he though?
Huh? Should I? Should I do an OnlyFans? What would be my content?
Me joking on the fucking intermission for me. Next question. Hi guys. I was just choking on some seeds. I almost puked. But I had a question for Jason.
Okay, I mean, that's just so you guys know. She's not butting in. It's just that's the end of it. That's all the questions we have. So.
No one thought that. I hope not. I'm just
I know.
kidding.
Thank you guys for the questions, though.
What would be your death row meal?
The fuck is that?
Like you're in prison and you're gonna die, and you're like you can choose a meal.
Oh,
like
my last meal. Why didn't you just say that?
What do you mean that people know what death row means? Meal.
Oh. Well, what would be my last meal? There's so much good shit in the world that I haven't even tried either. But like, if I were to go off the ones I have tried, what would I choose though? Would it be like restaurant shit or homemade shit? It'd probably be pasta. I would probably have mom's homemade pasta, something like that.
Yeah.
Either spaghetti or lasagna, because both of those are her best.
Fire.
My opinion, her best.
We just had the lasagna.
And that shit was schmacking.
It was schmacking hot.
It would be that, or her homemade mac and cheese.
But I love mac and cheese. You know what?
So I'd probably add
mac and
that would be a side. I never really had desserts.
You know, I'm not a really huge fan of dessert.
Probably brownies, like homemade brownies as well, cause
some moist.
Homemade cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and brownies, cause best of both worlds.
There's a budget.
They're so fire. There's no budget. Fuck that. I would stuff myself like a turkey.
Oh my gosh, I have a question for like waffles, French toast, or pancakes. French toast is always gonna be number 1.
I agree.
Then I couldn't say. I was like waffles, and then pancakes.
Agreed.
Right. I tried to shake his hand.
Yeah, but there you go.
Wrong way, guys.
But yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Oh, that's delicious.
I hope so.
I was legit choking over there.
Anyways, that is gonna do it for today's Q&A. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you who sent out the questions. Send out more for the next one.
And thank you for letting me join.
Of course, I appreciate you coming in.
Me and Jason haven't talked in years, and guess what? We're like besties and my therapist right now.
I love you guys. Till the next video.
Me, I'm a what? Hi, Jason. You're pretty cool.